Normally, I wouldn't even entertain this, but the fact that you mentioned my children, I'm not letting that ride. Since this whole situation happened, everybody know I never said nothing. The only time I said something was the last time when she tried to clout chase with the whole fake thing she tried to play.
There are certain moments when a birthday party is supposed to be nothing but pure good energy. The kind of night where family members are laughing across the room, music is playing in the background, people are telling old stories, and everyone is just enjoying the moment together.
All right, come on! Don't shake that ass, bitch, I'm a dirty funny. Don't shake that ass, bitch, I'm a dirty funny. Don't shake that ass, bitch, I'm a dirty funny. I'm a dirty funny, I'm a dirty funny. Don't shake that ass, bitch, I'm a dirty funny. Don't shake that ass, bitch. Oh!
A birthday celebration like that usually stays within the walls of the house where it happens, remembered only by the people who were there. But in the age of social media, even the most normal family gathering can suddenly turn into a trending conversation once a few clips start circulating online. That's exactly what happened after footage from Papoose's birthday celebration in New York began making its way across the internet. What looked at first like a simple, relaxed birthday gathering quickly turned into something people online started studying, analyzing, and debating from every possible angle. The clips themselves didn't seem dramatic at first glance. In fact, the vibe looked exactly like what you would expect from a New York family celebration. People were gathered together inside a home, the room was full of voices talking at the same time, and there was plenty of laughter floating around as the birthday cake made its way through the crowd. You could hear the music playing while everyone sang happy birthday and cheered as the night continued. But as often happens online, viewers didn't just watch the video once and move on. Instead, people began pausing certain moments, replaying specific interactions, and looking closely at body language and small comments that might normally go unnoticed during a loud celebration. Within hours, a simple birthday video had turned into a full-blown internet discussion.
People watch.
Excuse me.
Hey, you're too aggressive here.
One of the main reasons the conversation suddenly took off was because viewers noticed the presence of Claressa Shields in several of the clips. As soon as people realized she was at the gathering, the tone of the conversation shifted. Claressa Shields is not just another guest at a party, she is one of the most well-known athletes in boxing today, known for her intense discipline, competitive mindset, and the strong image she has built around being focused on training and performance in the ring. Because of that reputation, fans often pay close attention to how she presents herself publicly. So once viewers began spotting her in the background of the birthday videos, people immediately started discussing what they were seeing and what it might mean. The first topic that grabbed attention was something that, under normal circumstances, might not have even been worth mentioning. Some viewers believed they saw what looked like a drink in Claressa's hand while she was standing among the guests. In most party situations, holding a drink is completely normal and would never become a headline. But the reason people reacted strongly to that moment is because Claressa has often spoken about her commitment to maintaining a clean and disciplined lifestyle as a professional athlete. She has previously described herself as someone who avoids alcohol so she can stay fully focused on her training and performance in the ring. Because of that reputation, fans often pay close attention to how she presents herself publicly. So once viewers began spotting her in the background of the birthday videos, people immediately started discussing what they were seeing and what it might mean. The first topic that grabbed attention was something that, under normal circumstances, might not have even been worth mentioning. Some viewers believed they saw what looked like a drink in Claressa's hand while she was standing among the guests. In most party situations, holding a drink is completely normal and would never become a headline. But the reason people reacted strongly to that moment is because Claressa has often spoken about her commitment to maintaining a clean and disciplined lifestyle as a professional athlete. She has previously described herself as someone who avoids alcohol so she can stay fully focused on her training and performance in the ring. Because of that reputation, fans often pay close attention to how she presents herself publicly. So once viewers began spotting her in the background of the birthday videos, people immediately started discussing what they were seeing and what it might mean. The first topic that grabbed attention was something that, under normal circumstances, might not have even been worth mentioning. Some viewers believed they saw what looked like a drink in Claressa's hand while she was standing among the guests. In most party situations, holding a drink is completely normal and would never become a headline. But the reason people reacted strongly to that moment is because Claressa has often spoken about her commitment to maintaining a clean and disciplined lifestyle as a professional athlete. She has previously described herself as someone who avoids alcohol so she can stay fully focused on her training and performance in the ring. Because of that, the possibility that she might have been holding a drink immediately raised eyebrows among some viewers. Of course, others quickly pushed back against that interpretation. Many people pointed out that short video clips can be misleading, especially when they only capture a few seconds of a larger moment. The object in her hand might not have been alcohol at all. It could have been water, juice, or any number of other drinks that people normally have at family gatherings. But once a conversation like that starts online, it rarely stays small. Social media has a way of magnifying even the smallest details, and before long, people were debating whether the moment actually contradicted the disciplined image Claressa has built over the years. However, at first glance, the clips seemed completely ordinary. The environment looked like a lively family celebration where everyone was having a good time. Music could be heard playing in the background while guests laughed, talked, and cheered for the birthday man. Some people were dancing, others were standing around enjoying conversation, and the entire room appeared full of energy. In many ways, it looked exactly like the kind of birthday celebration that happens in countless homes every year. But once those videos reached social media, viewers didn't just watch them casually. Instead, many people began pausing the clips, replaying certain moments, and paying close attention to small details that might normally go unnoticed in the middle of a crowded party. As often happens on the internet, a few seconds of footage suddenly became the starting point for a much larger conversation. The moment that really pushed the discussion forward came when viewers noticed the presence of Claressa Shields at the celebration. As soon as people recognized her in the background of the clips, the tone of the conversation shifted dramatically. Claressa Shields is not just another guest at a party. She is one of the most recognized names in boxing today, known for her powerful achievements in the ring and her strong reputation as a disciplined athlete. Because she has built an image around intense training, focus, and dedication to her career, fans tend to watch her actions closely whenever she appears in public. That is why her presence at the birthday gathering quickly became a central topic of discussion among viewers online. One of the first things people began talking about was something that might normally seem very small. Some viewers believed they spotted what looked like a drink in Claressa's hand during one of the clips. In most situations, holding a drink at a birthday party would not be unusual or controversial at all. But the reason this detail caught attention is because Claressa has previously spoken publicly about living a disciplined lifestyle as a professional athlete. She has often emphasized the importance of maintaining focus, staying physically prepared, and avoiding habits that might interfere with her training and performance in the ring. Because of that, some viewers questioned whether the object in her hand might have been alcohol, which quickly became a topic of debate across social media. Of course, many other viewers were quick to push back against that interpretation. Supporters pointed out that short video clips can easily create misunderstandings, especially when they only capture a brief moment without context. The drink in her hand could have been anything from water to juice or soda, and there is no way to determine exactly what it was from a few seconds of footage. These viewers argued that the internet was likely overreacting to a moment that may have had no real significance at all. Still, once an online conversation begins to gain momentum, it rarely slows down quickly. Instead, more people join the discussion, share their opinions, and add new theories about what might have been happening. Another rumor that began circulating online suggested that Claressa may have traveled to New York after seeing social media posts about Papoose celebrating his birthday. According to some speculation shared by viewers, she might not have originally been part of the planned gathering and may have decided to join the celebration later. This idea quickly became another topic of discussion, with some people debating whether her arrival was spontaneous or planned in advance. However, it is important to point out that none of these claims have been officially confirmed. They remain theories created by social media users who were attempting to piece together a timeline based on the limited information available online. As the conversation continued, another name began appearing frequently in the discussion: Remy Ma. Many viewers brought her up because she remains connected to Papoose through their child, which naturally keeps her part of the broader family dynamic. Because of that connection, some people online started suggesting that the situation might involve complicated personal relationships behind the scenes. A number of social media users even began creating theories about a possible relationship triangle involving Papoose, Claressa Shields, and Remy Ma. However, it is important to emphasize that none of the individuals involved have confirmed any such narrative. These ideas exist largely as speculation created by online observers, rather than statements made by the people themselves. Another aspect of the celebration that caught viewers' attention was the amount of recording happening during the party. Several clips showed guests using their phones to capture moments from the event. For some critics, this raised questions about whether constant filming inside a private family gathering might make certain guests uncomfortable. Their argument was that birthday parties held in private homes are usually more personal than public events, and not everyone may feel comfortable being recorded throughout the night. In their view, the presence of cameras could sometimes change the atmosphere of a gathering that is meant to be relaxed and intimate. However, many others disagreed with that criticism and defended the idea of recording moments from the celebration. They pointed out that in today's digital culture, it has become extremely common for people to capture important events on their phones. Birthdays, weddings, and family gatherings are often recorded so that memories can be shared later with friends and followers online. From this perspective, filming parts of the celebration didn't seem unusual or inappropriate at all. Instead, it simply reflected how modern social life often intersects with social media. Another moment that sparked conversation involved the birthday cake being passed around during the celebration. In one of the clips, Claressa appeared to ask for a piece of cake while the room was filled with music and laughter. During that moment, a comment could be heard in the background that quickly caught viewers' attention. Some people interpreted the comment as playful teasing between friends at the party, but others began wondering whether it might indicate something deeper about the interactions taking place in the room. As more viewers replayed the clip, different interpretations emerged, and the debate continued to grow. However, to understand why people reacted so strongly to the birthday post, it helps to look at the history between Remy Ma and Papoose. For years, they were viewed as one of the most committed couples in the industry. When Remy Ma faced legal troubles and spent time away from the spotlight, Papoose remained publicly supportive of her. He visited her regularly and even married her while she was still incarcerated, which became one of the most talked about demonstrations of loyalty within hip-hop culture. Fans admired the way he stood by her side during an extremely difficult period of her life. Their story was often referenced as proof that genuine commitment could still exist in an industry that sometimes has a reputation for unstable relationships. Because of that history, many people developed a strong emotional attachment to the idea of their partnership lasting forever. However, like many relationships, things eventually changed. Over time, reports began suggesting that the marriage between Remy Ma and Papoose had reached a turning point. While the details of their separation were never fully explained to the public, it became clear that they had gone their separate ways. For fans who had followed their story for years, the news felt surprising and even disappointing. But life moves forward, and eventually Papoose appeared to begin a new chapter. That new chapter reportedly involved Claressa Shields, a woman who is already a major public figure in her own right because of her incredible accomplishments in boxing. The moment people began connecting those names together, the situation naturally became more interesting to the public. Claressa Shields is not just any athlete, she is widely considered one of the greatest female boxers of her generation. Growing up in Flint, Michigan, she overcame enormous challenges to become a dominant force in the sport. She made history by winning 2 Olympic gold medals and later became an undisputed world champion in professional boxing. Her achievements inside the ring have made her one of the most recognizable fighters in the world, and her personality outside the ring is just as strong as her competitive style during a fight. Claressa is known for being confident, outspoken, and extremely direct when it comes to expressing her thoughts. She doesn't shy away from confrontation or difficult conversations, and that trait has helped shape her reputation as someone who refuses to back down from anything. Because of that personality, once Remy Ma's birthday message began circulating online, fans immediately started wondering how Claressa might feel about it. Social media thrives on speculation, and people quickly began debating whether the message was purely respectful or whether it might carry deeper meaning. Some viewers believed that Remy Ma was simply showing maturity by acknowledging someone who had played an important role in her life. Others wondered whether the message might have been intended to remind people of the strong history she shares with Papoose. Without direct confirmation from the people involved, the internet was left to interpret the situation on its own, and those interpretations varied widely depending on who you asked. According to individuals who claimed to be close to the situation, Claressa eventually became aware of the birthday post while browsing social media. At first, she reportedly reacted with confusion because she had not been expecting any public interaction between Remy Ma and Papoose. Moments like that can be surprising, especially when they appear online without warning. Imagine opening your phone and suddenly seeing thousands of people discussing something that involves someone you care about. Even the most confident person might pause for a moment to process what they are looking at. Sources say that Claressa initially responded with a simple question asking what exactly had happened, indicating that she wanted to understand the context before reacting emotionally. Not long after that moment, Claressa posted a message on social media that quickly grabbed the internet's attention. In the post, she made it clear that Papoose is her man. The statement was brief but powerful, and it left little room for misinterpretation. Many fans interpreted the message as a declaration of confidence and a reminder that she considers herself the person currently in Papoose's life. Others viewed it as a subtle warning to anyone who might think about crossing boundaries. Regardless of how people interpreted the tone, the result was immediate. The internet exploded with reactions, memes, and debates about what the message really meant. Once the story started trending, social media users began analyzing every part of the situation. Some people focused on the wording of Remy Ma's birthday message, discussing whether phrases like humble and dedicated might have been intentionally chosen. Others focused on Claressa's response, debating whether it was meant to defend her relationship or simply to clarify her position publicly. Meanwhile, Papoose himself became the central figure in a conversation that he had not directly started. In a strange way, his birthday turned into a moment where the entire internet was suddenly talking about his personal life instead of celebrating him as an artist. What made the situation even more interesting is how differently people interpreted the same set of events. Supporters of Remy Ma argued that she had every right to wish someone a happy birthday, especially someone who was once her husband and the father of her child. From that perspective, the message was simply an example of maturity and respect. Supporters of Claressa Shields, on the other hand, believed that her response was completely justified because public messages between former partners can sometimes create confusion about boundaries. For them, her post was simply a confident way of reminding everyone where things currently stand. Meanwhile, many observers simply found the entire situation fascinating because it combined elements of sports, music, and personal drama. It is not every day that a story involves a legendary rapper, a respected hip-hop lyricist, and an Olympic champion boxer all in the same conversation. That unique combination is part of the reason the story spreads so quickly online. Each person involved has their own fan base, and when those audiences overlap, the resulting conversation becomes even bigger. Another factor that fueled the discussion was the way social media amplifies emotional reactions. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok allow people to share their thoughts instantly, which means thousands of opinions can appear within minutes of a single post. Some users joked about the situation, creating memes about Papoose being caught between two powerful women. Others approached the topic more seriously, discussing the challenges of maintaining relationships when every action is constantly being watched by the public. The mixture of humor, curiosity, and debate kept the story trending for hours. Interestingly, Papoose himself reportedly responded to the attention in a calm and measured way. Instead of fueling the drama, he simply acknowledged the birthday wishes he received and expressed appreciation for the support from fans. That reaction aligned with the description Remy Ma had used in her message, portraying him as humble and focused on living his life without unnecessary conflict. For many observers, his calm response contrasted sharply with the intense speculation happening online. Not long after that discussion started, another rumor began circulating online that added even more intrigue to the situation. Some viewers began suggesting that Claressa may have flown to New York unexpectedly after seeing social media posts about Papoose celebrating his birthday. According to this theory, she might not have originally been part of the planned family gathering. Instead, some people speculated that she decided to show up after realizing the celebration was happening. It's important to note that there has been no confirmation that this actually happened. The idea exists purely as speculation shared by viewers who were piecing together timelines based on social media posts and the clips they were watching. Still, once that theory appeared in the comment sections, it spread quickly and became another major topic in the discussion. Another reason the conversation kept gaining momentum had to do with the broader family dynamic surrounding Papoose. Many viewers brought up the fact that Remy Ma remains connected to him through their shared child. Because of that, some fans believe the situation around his personal life could naturally be complicated while everything continues to evolve. People online began speculating about how that dynamic might affect interactions at family events like a birthday celebration. Some suggested that family members might naturally be cautious about how new relationships fit into the picture, especially when there are children involved and long histories between the people connected to the situation. While none of those theories have been confirmed by anyone directly involved, the internet tends to fill in gaps with its own interpretations. Once viewers begin forming narratives around what they think they are seeing, every small moment inside a video can suddenly take on a new meaning. That's exactly what happened when another brief moment from the party started getting attention. In that moment, Claressa appeared to ask Papoose for a piece of birthday cake while the room was filled with music, singing, and conversation. As the cake was being passed around, someone in the background made a comment that quickly caught the attention of viewers. The voice could be heard saying something along the lines of, "Man, you Sharon, you don't make no sense." That single sentence ended up creating an entirely new debate in the comment sections. Some viewers interpreted the comment as nothing more than playful teasing between friends and family during a lively celebration. In a crowded room where everyone is talking at once, jokes and side comments like that are common and usually harmless. But others looked at the moment very differently. A few critics suggested that Papoose appeared distracted during the exchange and didn't seem particularly focused on Claressa at that moment. One viewer even wrote that it looked like he didn't want to share his birthday cake with her, which led more people to go back and watch the clip again to see if they agreed with that interpretation. As the discussion continued, people began pointing out yet another detail from the party that they felt was worth talking about. Several viewers noticed that Claressa appeared to be recording parts of the celebration on her phone throughout the night. For some people watching the clips, that raised questions about whether filming so much during a private family gathering might make certain guests uncomfortable. Their argument was that a home celebration is different from a public event, and not everyone wants to be recorded all night while they're relaxing with family. However, many others strongly disagreed with that criticism. Supporters pointed out that in today's social media culture, recording moments during birthdays and celebrations has become completely normal. It's common for people to capture videos of cake cutting, games, and conversations so they can share memories with friends and followers later. From that perspective, Claressa filming parts of the night didn't seem unusual at all. Instead, they argued that viewers online might simply be looking too deeply into a behavior that happens at almost every modern party. At this point, the conversation surrounding the birthday clips had grown far beyond the original moment that sparked it. What started as a few seconds of video from a family celebration had turned into a long list of theories about relationships, family dynamics, and personal behavior. Some viewers became convinced that the clips showed subtle tension or awkward energy between certain people in the room. Others insisted that the internet was reading far too much into a situation that likely felt completely normal to the people who were actually there. That difference in perspective highlights something important about the way social media works today. When a short video is posted online, viewers are only seeing a tiny piece of a much larger moment. Cameras rarely capture the full context of conversations, interactions, or emotions happening in a room. Yet, once thousands of people began analyzing a clip frame by frame, it becomes easy to construct stories that may or may not reflect what was really happening. Body language, facial expressions, and offhand comments can all be interpreted in multiple ways depending on the assumptions viewers bring with them. The situation also sparked another discussion related to Claressa's career as a professional athlete. Some critics suggested that she should be focusing entirely on boxing, rather than appearing in situations that could potentially create online drama. Their argument was that elite athletes often benefit from maintaining strict discipline and avoiding distractions that might shift attention away from their training. But her supporters quickly responded by pointing out that having a personal life does not automatically conflict with being a world-class competitor. Athletes are still human beings who build relationships, celebrate milestones, and spend time with the people they care about outside of their careers.